All right, as a request by some of my subscribers, I've been asked, Blue Ridge, can you put together a rather comprehensive photo reference for coin grading? Well, here you go. And this is going to cover coins from poor to mid state 68. Specifically, we're going to look at the Morgan series of dollar coins primarily because they're large size. You get to see a little bit more of the detail when it comes to the specific grades of these coins. There's going to be very little commentary associated. I'll let you know when we're getting into the next grade assignment. We're not going to talk about price. Okay, I might bring up a little something here and there, but for the most part, this is going to be a visual reference for you to refer to. And even though it's Morgan dollars, you could certainly use this guide to make grade assessments on various other coins. What's popular today is a lot of modern coins, pocket change. What grade is this? What grade is that? And you could certainly use the reference that's provided to you here in this video to get a relatively accurate grade assessment on your coin. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we have a 1888 O, and this is the lowest grade coin out there. It's the lowest grade in general. It's not so much the lowest grade coin. And you want to keep in mind that all the coins in this video are straight graded, problem free. Okay, believe it or not, this 1888 O Morgan dollar is a poor one. Okay, so this is our starting off point. These are actually very collectible and they can be very valuable. People put together low ball sets. So between this particular grade and the next one you'll see, that'll be the case. So up next we have a 1884 Fair 2. All right. In comparison to the previous coin, it's got a little bit more detail. So you'll see that on the poor coin, the rim is absent, and as long as you have a somewhat legible date and mint mark for both the poor and fair, the grade will be assigned appropriately. All right, up next is About Good 3. This is an 1889 CC. I'll go ahead and let you guys take a look at this. As you can tell, it's got a little bit more detail. Okay, and then up next is a Good 4, 1889 Carson City. All right, and then up next we have an 1896 O VG8. As you can tell by this date, you got a lot more detail. You have an actual rim on this coin. All right, and then up next is a Fine 12 1886 O. All right, on this coin, you have a lot more meat on the bones, so to speak, and it's a very attractive looking coin for this grade. Some of the tougher dated coins like the 1893S in the Morgan series of dollars, even fine graded coins are worth quite a bit of money. So you want to keep that in mind. And another thing to point before I get on to the next coin, there will be a few in-betweener grades that will be omitted in this. For example, there are those in-between grades between like a VG8 and a Fine 12, that I won't add in there. And Fine 15, is another grade that won't be added into this list because the variance between a Fine 12 and a 15 is so minuscule. But however, from a Fine 12 to our next coin, which is a 1893 O VF20, which is a very fine 20, you could certainly see the details. They're more robust on this particular grade. So go ahead and check that one out for a second. And then up next we have a very fine 30. So we skipped over a very fine 25. We're into a 30, and this one's an 1888S. even more details still. Okay, and then up next we have XF40, which is also extremely fine 40, or EF40. Okay, it goes by a couple different types there, and this is an 1884S. Okay, this is a very collectible grade. In the older coins and the newer coins, it is simply known as a circulated coin. All right. All right, and here's where things get interesting. Okay, we have an AU50, which also stands for About Uncirculated. This is an 1884. Oh, what you can tell from this coin is the coin will still have a little bit of luster in some of those protected areas, like around the date, the letters on the edge, the rim, some of the devices surrounding the portrait, and same goes for the reverse. So you'll see a little bit of luster. It's seen its day in commerce for sure, as evidenced by the high wear on the cheek, the hair details, the breast feathers, things of that nature. Okay. And here's a grade that is affectionately referred to as an everyman's grade, or a slider is what they call it. This is About Uncirculated 58. It's a 1901. And this is a coin that, this is a grade rather, that a lot of people do collect because the mid-state examples are way too expensive. Okay, so again, this is an About Uncirculated 58. All right, and then up next here is a Mint State 61. Okay, I skipped over 60 because it's kind of like that tweener grade. It looks like an AU, but some would say, oh, it's Mint State. PCGS and NGC, those companies don't really assign Mint State 60 that much these days. So they'll just go to Mint State 61, and this is a 19030 example that you see here. It looks like it does have wear. It's got plenty of luster, but you know the cheek is all dinged up, you know, from just bag marks. You know, this is probably a bag coin. It might have been pocket change piece for a small while, and when I mean small while, probably a few days. But in any event, this is your Mint State 61. So here's a Mint State 62. It's a 1885-0. And then as I go through the Mint State grades, you'll be able to see the progression of the luster and the lack of the breaks and that sort of thing. All right. So up next here we have an Mint State 63. And this is an 1883 Carson City. Pretty nice coin. This is a common grade for Morgans. All right, and then coming up, this is a Mint State 64. This is an 1880S example. Pretty nice coin. All right, and then here's the medium grade. This is a Mint State 65, 1884-0. This is a really attractive piece. For a lot of coins, this is kind of the grade that a lot of people go for. So that's what we have there. And up next, we have a beautiful grade. This is where things really get pretty difficult and very, very valuable. This is a Mint State 66, 1884-0. Okay, just like the previous example. You could see that it exhibits really clean fields. You know, there's a few baggy marks on the higher devices of the coin, which is expected for this type. But this is a rather stunning coin. So if you wanted to get a premium coin, especially in a Morgan dollar, Mint State 66 and up is definitely the way to go. All right, and coming up next, we have a Mint State 67, 1897 example here for you. Absolutely beautiful coin. These coins are very valuable. And even in the modern stuff, Mint State 67 is the that's the bar that's been set for rather pricey coins. So the coin is going to exhibit fields that are velvety smooth with virtually no marks, nothing. A few marks on the portrait is acceptable for this grade, but they begin to get trivial when it comes to Mint State 67. And then finally, this is a grade that I affectionately refer to as the fairy tale grade, or coins that are fairy tale of nature. This is the Mint State 68, 1886. I saved the best for last, obviously, and ironically, this is the best looking photo out of the 19 photos for your grade. This is the grade you go for. If you're looking to get into high-end coins, Mint State 68, 69, and 70 is where it's at. There will be no photos of a 69 or 70, primarily because those kind of grades hardly ever come up on business strike coins. You'll see them more on proof and special strikes, straight from the mint, especially that 70 grade, which is perfection. That's the top grade in all of this. But that concludes our photo grading guide. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is my most comprehensive guide, and probably one of the more comprehensive grading guides on YouTube. So yeah, definitely save this in your playlist, and always refer to it. You could always go to any grade, pause it, take a quick look at what you're seeing, and then kind of make that assessment with your coin that you have, whether it's a Morgan dollar, Washington quarter, Lincoln cent, Standing Liberty quarter, you name it, because the grading scale is universal throughout, and these grading companies use the same type all the way across the board. More importantly, you don't need to send these coins out for grading. Okay, it's not necessary sometimes. It depends on what you're trying to achieve in the hobby or business. If you're looking to flip, you certainly want to keep this one on the ready. I'm your host, Blue Ridge Silverhound. As always, the best way you can support my channel is simply hit the like or subscribe button, or both. That'd be awesome. Come check me out on Facebook and Instagram. I am there as well. I appreciate all your guys' support. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.